Okay, again we're going to have another explanation now after the Kabbalistic explanation. We're in the Zohar and Parsha Vaera. Another explanation of this pasuk. Tavarachem bitchu b'Hashem adayad. Trust in Hashem forever. What's this adayad?
What's the daf?
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me. Daf Chov Beis Amud Aleph at the very end. What does it mean adayad? Forever and ever. It's like a strange expression. It says Kol Yom Vaynash Boy Lis Takfa Beil Kutzbrichu. Every day of a person's life, he has to strengthen himself in Hashem. Even when it's hard, he should never give up. He should always hope somebody help him. Somebody will take care of him. Never, ever, ever give up. A person who puts his bitochen on Hashem and who is mechazik himself on Hashem as proper, it's not only with his mouth. Even when it's hard, still he has bitochen on Hashem. He throws his whole burden on Hashem, whether it's easy, whether it's hard, whatever it is. He's always going to Hashem. He's always turning to Hashem. Nothing bad will happen to him. No one can damage him. That's how the Chidah explains the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that once Hillel was going, and he went to he heard a cry out from a house. He heard a cry out from a house, and he said, they can't be my family because, and it was Tak Kachava. So the Bali Musa say the because there is why can't it be his family? The Bali Musa say, well, he taught them that even if Chas V'Shalom is a tragedy, that's not how one shouts. The cries were such despairing cries, it couldn't be his house. But the Chidah doesn't say that pshat. He says a person who puts his whole bitochen on Hashem, even if there's a worst gzeros on him, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to turn around. Everything's going to be so. Hillel, he was not. He said, Hillel. He said because the key is a nava. He said, the person was real a nava, he changed all the gzeros to good. He said Hillel was not to be an anav. So he said, my house is not going to. Everything's okay. And I didn't feel like either. That's fine. That's the Hillel. That's the Hillel. That's what it says here also. That a person, if you turn your pneuch to Hashem, you have really listen to Hashem, it's all going to be good, it's all going to be okay, it's all going to work out. The Kabbalistic Rebbe, a few stories with him. No, his father, I think. There's one person who was chassan, and he was a chassan in Vienna. And so according to the new country in America, you'll follow afterwards, I'll start a business, and he may have maybe someone I can become a shuttif, or a friend of mine, or whatever. So he went to his friend, his friend was a gerach chassid. And business was starting, he had a business, yeah, I'm sure I'll let you, no problem. He had whatever money, he was investing, it was good. It was like, I could use the capital and I have a good halach, and they started, things working. But visas in Vienna closed. Austria was already closing, it was very, very terrible things about the Nazis, like it was very, very scary. It's very, very inscrutable, very scary. And he kept trying to find a way to get his new bride out. He just couldn't do it. At the time, he hadn't been able to find, there was like one last passage on the ship or something. Somehow he got out, but she just couldn't find a way. And then when she wanted to buy tickets to get a visa, it was like impossible. So what do? I can't get her out. I can't get her, like a visa, getting a visa, I think it was different. He had a visa, he was the only one who could get a visa to America. He had a relative, something, he can get here and she couldn't. He wanted to arrange, by the time he was able to try to arrange a visa, it was very, very, very hard from the inside to get out. So like, what do I do now? I just can't, I'm not getting anywhere. I can't, things aren't working. So he's starting to get very depressed. He's getting married, he's feeling so bad. And he was a very volatile person, and it was very, very hard for him. And more depressed. Till he told his shuttif, listen, I'm sorry, I think that I'm having, considering suicidal thoughts. It's very bad. I don't know what to do. I guess one fine day, you might not see me around. This is why I just can't handle. So friend said, hey, take it easy. Don't be so emotional about things. That's pretty extreme. Let's first go together. There's a tzaddik here. He's real tzaddik. Take a picture, whatever. Let's see what he has to say. Maybe it'll be a bracha. Maybe it'll work. Try something. Don't just jump off a roof. Chas v'shalom. Don't be going around such a suicidal, depressing thoughts. Speak with him. He said, okay, I'll go. Why not? Like I said, can't lose anything. Wait a little. They went to the Rebbe spoke to him, so he was very, very deeply affected and very, very, very upset. So he said, you should know, don't feel bad about things, everything's going to work out. 1 month, your wife will be here. So he started, the weight lifted from his heart. 1 month, I can wait a month, Mom, just coming, what's the big deal? So he went out to Garrett, the Chassid was with him. He was like astounded. He never heard mofzit from this Rebbe. Doesn't say a word. He's very quiet, never said anything. Something's giving him one more, like a ticket. Like that's like very unusual. Garrett, especially, they're very little sharp. Mofzit. What's the mofzit supposed to deal with mofzit? Someone once went to the M&M. He said, "Down for me. One for this one's sick. Down for them." He said, "Why are you asking me?" He said, "Well, you're a tzaddik. How do you know I'm a tzaddik? How do you say you're a tzaddik?" No, he said, that doesn't, they think, but and that's so, I don't know, does that mean anything? What do you think? So he wasn't so impressed. But again, they're very just being on the ground. Like, what's Lamai's emes? For the cuts, their own mahalach, which is a little sharp, and that's the big guy. So, Kachava, he leaves the house, starts making shtaddus, he feels much more relaxed, starts making shtaddus, and things start moving. Suddenly, he does a connection here and there, she gets a visa, she's back 30 days. She's in America. Unbelievable. Nisim, mofzit, incredible. So the Garrett Chassid was like, now he's really impressed. Listen, to give him more face, he's thinking, I could also say, oh, it'll work out. It's really easy if you're not so responsible. But what you thought there would be, whatever, trying to do that nisim, I don't know, whatever it is. But to do one, that's pretty good. So he went to the Rebbe and he said, what happened? I don't understand. Wow, I don't know. Incredible, Yisman, you never did it before. I have no people who run to you. I go to you. I never heard these words from you. Such words in my life. Ever. What happened? It's incredible. It was a ticket. It was a shlutzer. What happened? I mean, who knows? So the Rebbe said, listen. A person has to look to Hashem always. That's his job. He has to just do the Ratzon Hashem. And the bottom line bedrock of Ratzon Hashem is halacha. Halacha is, you see a guy. He's obviously mamish, ready to maybe even end everything. That's where he's holding. You can tell. So you have to do anything you can to save his life. So I started thinking, what's the longest time I can tell this person that he won't give up and he'll just hold on and persevere and make it through? I said, I think he can handle a month. I'm afraid to say longer. It might be too long. He thinks I'm playing with him. A month is too short for me to play. It's like a week. It's doable. It's the fastest maybe to get through all the red tape. That's what I have to tell him to give another month of life. I'm chayiv. I have no choice. So I told him. So then he left. He said, when you left, I took my tillin. I said, I was chayiv to tell this guy, I have no choice. Please, don't make me a liar. I'll say tillin. You'll save him. You'll save him from, you'll save his wife. No, that's have a deal. I'll just say to him, you'll save his wife. Like, yeah, no choice. I'm chayiv, no choice. That's to do it. And that's what happened. So this Garrett Chassid told the Beis Yisrael of Gur this story. He was so inspired. He liked it so much. He said, tell me again. He said, that's a real Rebbe Shemoifis. That's a real Rebbe Shemoifis. No, you're right. But, chayiv, he looks to Hashem like, I do nothing. I can't do plum, and everything works out. And that's what the Zohar is talking about. A person has to look, put his strength in himself, be talking to Hashem, and that's what we need to be. The lesson says, he said, that's what Hashem wanted from us. Took us out of Mitzrayim, and then we had such difficulties, things were so hard. What do you want from us? We were slaves, we were meant to shy tumah, we were Zohar, we get them. The Malach said, the Sar Mitzrayim said to Hashem, wait a minute. Zohar, it's true, but so are they. The Jews worship idols just like the non-Jews. Lots of them. So why are you saying them and not them? Isn't that discrimination? Isn't that unfair, bias? What's going on here? So you see them in idolatry. So what does Hashem want from him? What want from us? So Hashem wanted one thing only to be talking. To Hashem, just keep remembering Hashem. He's with you, taking care of you. That's what he wanted. Nothing else. Then everything would work out. Is Hashem with us? Isn't he? Is this? Everything was questions. What's the questions? Where's the bitachon? Where's the looking to Hashem? The whole man, the shavi tukve b'shmol kadisha is kain ba'alma. Everyone who puts his chizuk, his trust in Hashem, who sustains the entire world, everything stands on Hashem. My timer begin the alma b'shmei kadisha is kain. Why? What does that mean? Hashem fulfills the word, establishes the world, because the world stands on Hashem's name. Takes the Nefesh HaChaim, brings the Medrash, it's brought in many places. Medrash says that the names, Hashem said to Moshe, according to my name, that's who I am. According to my name, according to my name, that's my action. According to my action, that's my name. That's what I wanted to say. According to my action, that's my name. What seems to be chesed comes from chesed, etc. So that's how we can relate to Hashem. It's incredible chesed from Hashem that the Ritva says that we can even say Baruch to Hashem is just the kindness from Hashem. There's nothing to do with us. It's not something that's coming to us. It's not something. It's kindness. That's what we're supposed to put the same idea. It's a chesed because Hashem is beyond. We can't grasp Hashem. We can say, I'll tell you Hashem right here. It's just chesed. We don't understand. So Hashem's name, that's one of the things we can really relate to. Is Hashem's name, Hashem. According to the Meisim, that's Hashem. According to the so everything stands in the name of Hashem. But those that see keep a Kah Hashem to Elohim with God, Yud K, Hashem Hashem, Yud K Hashem formed the worlds. He said Hashem is the one shot is Hashem Tzur Elohim. The Gemara says Tzayir Elohim created the world with Yud K. Again, we see that it stands on the name of Hashem. Hashem said Yud and K. Yud, you made the next world. K is this world. Yeah. He said, but the Zohar is saying Tzur Elohim Hashem is the rock, foundation of the world. That's what this means. So everything's standing on Hashem, the bedrock of the creation. The Zohar brings it also. He said, Tzayir Almin, Hashem formed two worlds to have a train Asmin Abasrun Alma. Itbrun Alma Almin Almaden Almadasi. So with two letters of Yud K, like I just said, Hashem created two worlds. Almadah, the Dina Isvari, the Altina Kaima, this world was created through Din and stands on Din. Justice. Everything is justice. Everything seems to be justice. Everything is just. We just don't have any clue how. We don't understand. We don't see a full picture. Something missing here. We don't know. We don't understand. We don't understand where we come from. We don't understand where we're going. We don't know anything. Hador L'chsiv is what it says. Gracious by Elohim. In the beginning, Hashem made Elohim is the name of Midas Din. Din. My time begins. Nagin b'nei Nosha b'dina. So the people should be led of Din. The lo yifkud me'ochel levar. We shouldn't go away from the derech of the Torah. We need Din, so we should understand. We should know that Yesh Din v'Yesh Dakin. It's not simple. A person, the Rebbe says the Quran, a person has to pick up, he has to uplift his fears. A person feels a fear. Well, I think the Talmud Hashem also other places in the Bible, it's brought down this idea also in other places. But a person has to, when he's afraid of something, he feels a fear of something, he has to change that, turn around to Hashem. He has to know that every din is from Hashem. It's not simple. Not a simple thing at all. It's the same person he has a bitochen, he has no real bichinot. It's a totally different situation. Sometimes a person, for earlier times, he's got to go through things that are very, very difficult, and it's hard for him. And he's trying, and it's hard for him. That's what he needs to do. And that's what he does. He endures, he has to endure. He has to do his best to take it, and to take it in a good way, and to be more sensitive to other people's difficulties, other people's hardships, because I had a hardship, and I can understand what he's going through now, and to develop in this way. That's what makes a person Adam. What makes a person Adam is the ability to be quiet, dome. Things are in the face of embarrassment and shame. It means also the humiliation of feeling powerless and having a difficulty. Hang on, no, I'm still percent. That's where we're holding. God spoke to Moshe. It's Gzar Din. It was on him. Mark said later, what's it before him? V'yashem Moshe Hashem v'yom came Aleph Dad Nun Yud. You have also is Bechin of Malchus. Then Chami took for the Moshe B'Shinusa Nach Luchum Hayas. Omar Hashem Lama Eroisel Amazeh. Moshe said, Din here. He said, as it were, take us into task. Why did you make things bad for this nation? From when I came to this nation, speak your name, it made it worse, made it harder, it made it more bitter for this nation. So it's out this hungry, you didn't deliver your nation. Who can say such a thing? Take Hashem to task. Like, we don't understand anything. Hashem. Who could possibly do this? Moshe knew that he was supposed to be uplifted to a higher level. He was supposed to bring down the Torah. That's a higher level of din. That's really the rachamim. Torah is really rachamim. Yes, it has to be din in order to support that. We should be able to make a world of Torah. We should have a connection to Torah. And the din, without the din, the Torah would be meaningless. A person would not, the efforts he expected, he wouldn't have any efforts. There wouldn't be any challenges. There wouldn't be any barriers. So then, what's it worth? It's just a freebie, a gift. How would a person feel if everything you give to Chaim? It's the story, it's the way after Chaim. He says, if I have a portion to the next world, why I have to work so hard? I have a portion anyway. So Chaim said, I forgot the name of this Yid, he was a very big millionaire. And he had a lot of factories, a lot of workers. And he inspected the places where people were working for him. He was a very hands-on employer. And we asked him, what do you do when you take an interest? So once he went, also he used to give any relative could get a job there. Also, he's very support his relatives. So one place he went into, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? He lined up for him, he spoke with him. Then he finally went to another person, what do you do? It was the relative who was, he managed a position, but he didn't do anything. He just got a salary. So he said, what do I do? I draw a salary here. He said, everyone started laughing. He didn't do anything. He's an absolute loser. Like, nothing. Oh, nothing? Okay. Like the Piazetta says, even the animals, the beasts of the field, they do something. They don't, sit around. He's like, the person sees worse than ever. Like, what? You gotta move. You gotta get going. You gotta get things happening. Make things happen. That's the... So Moshe Rabbeinu was supposed to get to this higher level. We didn't have a din for it as a background. It's not, the Torah is rachamim. So he could take Hashem to din. He wanted this din to end and to be uplifted.
Now, didn't Hashem create the world with din?
Yes.
And then he introduced the rachamim, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So then why is Moshe asking that?
Because Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to get to this place of rachamim. That's what he wanted to get.
But isn't the ideal din?
The ideal is din, yes. But with din, that's what Moshe Rabbeinu said. He didn't want to take us out. He didn't want to deliver the din because he said, they don't really deserve it now. I'd rather get them out of the din so that we don't have to go through this again and again. Just do it right. So Max says they left, it was early. Paro was right. He said, what? Don't you know the goals of 400 years? What are you coming for? So, well, it was Yitzchak, Avinu, birds, was it was not hard, but so what? What does it mean? It says there was no choice. They wouldn't have made it. Sharnun, it's over. The rest actually says, how can anything be over? Right? In Yishbel Klal. The Rechaim HaKadosh also says in Yishbel, how can it be over? There's really, Tshuva always helps. How can it be over? So he said, no, it's over because before Mount Torah, there was a thing it was too late. After Mount Torah, that's what the Rechaim is. But if Nassim disagrees, this is a beautiful thing. And maybe you could probably try to put it in as one. But he says that what the problem was, not that there was no way to go back. They could go back, but they would have given up to such a deep level, they never would have been able to get back and moving. Theoretically, you could, you didn't have to give up, but they didn't know that. Maybe that's what it means. The Torah teaches us, shows us that there's no giving up. You should always have the mitzvahs, and always doing what you do. It means Hashem is to hope for you. Otherwise, what do you do these mitzvahs for? The torture, this Gehenna is even a torture. Gehenna is just a place to cleanse oneself. It's not no such thing. A person, Amalek is destroyed, there's no Gehenna for Amalek. Not a second. No point. Gehenna is a place that's supposed to rectify. Not a punishment, just because you did bad, well, yeah, that's it. Make restitution by suffering. You suffer too. That's not how it works. If there's hope for the person, you're suffering. It's maybe possible to put the two together. It says, Vaera, I skipped a little bit to Chav Beis, on the days. Vaera el Avram el Yitzchak el Yaakov v'kel Shakai. Showed himself. I showed myself to Avram, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, in the name of Kel Shakai. My Shnei Shema Chacham Me'elah Le'elah. We were talking before, Shem Al-Tav Yud, Shem Elokim, Shem Vaera. Suddenly it's Kel Shakai. Interesting. This is a mashal of a king who has a daughter who's not married. Not married. He loved her so much. When the king came to speak with his beloved daughter, he called her, she speaks to him. The king stands to his daughter and speak with her. Also, it's time for the daughter to get married. Yeah. Call my daughter. Call my daughter. Oh, here we go. Call my daughter. Call my daughter. King, the queen, and Giveres. Why? The king said to his daughter, till now, whatever I wanted to speak with you, till now I spoke like through you. Whoever I wanted to speak to, I spoke through you. Now, it's not the way it goes. Now I'm going to tell your husband, he's going to tell whatever she told. At a certain point, her husband said some pretty strong words in front of the king. Before she began to speak, the king took this word. The Melech said to his daughter's, the husband, who's the king? I'm the king. Till now, people never spoke to me except through my daughter. I gave you my daughter, and you're able to. I speak through you, which no one else went through this at all. So basically, the idea of Kel Shakai, that's the idea of limits, pashtus. That's the idea of limits. Kel is chesed, and then Shakai, there's limit, there's boundaries. That's basically what there was until now. Until now, what there really was that there was a lot of building going on. There was a very, very big billion being built. First came Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu is, of course, anyway, what he revealed was Kel, because that's the name of Chesed. That was what Avinu was about. And he's building, and you have Yishmael there. And Yishmael is not so pashut. Then we have Yitzchak. Yitzchak was beginning to reveal some Kim. But nevertheless, you have also Esau. So there's a beginning, there's like a boundary. The boundaries of Kedusha are being determined. Then you have a Chiddush. Chiddush is Yaakov. Yaakov was such an incredible Chiddush. Every child he had was Kula Kodesh, that's Mitosha Shlema. That's what Yaakov was about. So Yaakov also continued to determine and to refine the boundaries of Kedusha. Then when they came to Mitzrayim, and it's interesting, the Maral points out that we weren't a nation before Mitzrayim, we were just a family, and we became a nation in a host country without any real authority per se, in the way of usual nations. So our whole, and eventually became enslaved. So our whole nationhood was when we were removed from Mitzrayim by Hashem. And that's to show that no matter what, we're always coming to Hashem in the deepest place, in the deepest level. We're always with Hashem. Always, absolutely with Hashem. That's what it means. That's what we are. There's no way to let go of us. That's Hashem dafka, create us that way so that we would have an intrinsic connection to Him, even in terms of our nationhood. There's no way of judging Jewish people because there's no way of discarding us. Hashem made it that way and set it up that way because we have this special, very, very, very special connection to Hashem that was formed also by being in Mitzrayim, by being the difficulties in Mitzrayim. So that's until now, it's Kel Shakai. Until now, it's the boundaries, it's how to refine, how to bring out the good and get rid of the bad through the difficulty, through the hardship, till we're ready to accept the Torah. The minute it's time for Moshe Rabbeinu to take us out, There's a totally different level. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu is trying to access. That's the idea of the Shekel Shakai. That's the idea also of the Mashal. There's a Mashal. There's a totally new Bechina coming out here. Something completely different. That's the Bechina. Till now there was Bechina of Malchus, this lower level, but the point of the lower level is to come to the higher level. That's the bottom line. And of course, when the princess gets married, she gets family, she can build the king, that there should be something going on. Kiv Yochel. That's just the idea that really we want to have here a shiluk. We want to have here a connection, a deep union between the Bechina, which is the Bechina of the Malchus, that's the Bechina of Malchus, when the Din. We want to bring Rachamim into the Din. We want to bring Rachamim into the Bria. That's what Rav says, that when a person has when we have, it's interesting, it says that if you keep the Torah, that everything will be right, there'll be rain, there'll be this, there'll be that. Very strange, have grass, have food, grass, well, it's very strange. Seems like whatever the name doesn't say a word. So the Rav says something very interesting, he said, because the Torah's point is this world, like relating how we relate to this world, and it's on a simple level, on a superficial level. So, it's just saying that if we're keeping the Torah, everything's going to go the way it's supposed to go, everything's going to be the way it's supposed to be. There'll be rain, everything will be the way it's supposed to be. That's everything, and that's the absolute purpose. It's just something that's a side point. Like if you keep things the seder, things will be kaseder. That's how we explained. So we need to have this, we want to get to this bechina where there's a shiloh, there's a connection, a real union going on between us and the king. This is bechina, that's the l'chayra, this union of the mashal. It used to be that the only way to relate to Hashem was through these bechina, like this very, very, very strong din. The person has no idea where he's going, has no idea how to go, or what to do, or how to do it. This is what you're supposed to know where to do it, where to go. How do you know a person is not Jewish? How are you supposed to know how to comport himself, how to act? A person is a Jew, takes the Torah, knows everything, what I need to do and how I need to do it. It's all clear to him. So then he's able to act in the way he's supposed to act. He's able to bring down all the shef, all the errors, the way it's supposed to be. 100% the way it's supposed to be. And even if it's seemingly said the wrong way, or said in the wrong manner, like Moshe Rabbeinu, he said this strong, and he tried to push things. It was his level. He had to bring in this Torah. But it's not, so Enechanami is not Pashit, and there's episode actually mentioned that already by the snare, that, and here for sure. So there's already by the snare that, like, Moshe was not slated to really take us into the tribe, take us into Yisrael, so we weren't on the level. Nevertheless, even though that's true, still, the Maisa, he was holding the play, he was trying to push things that they should go from one to the other. So Hashem said, yes, there was Kel Shakai, and now it's a Vaera, and there's a transition. When there's a transition, so then it can be a little harder first, especially without B'schus, but eventually, when the time comes in the right way, we'll be leaving. And that will be the end of all the work, the end of all the Makkah, it'll be incredibly decent. That's the Chayra on a simple level, without all the Kabbalah things which we're trying to avoid in this year. Hashem should be Zohar to all the fire, the oil, the Torah, and to thank to Hashem, and to leave it right. Amen.